is more efficient because we can correspond almost on a daily, weekly basis. So, and email is more for formal correspondence, but the WhatsApp is where we keep in touch. Membership, we tried. Our target was, we have 17 members, one dropped out. We'll talk about this later in 3.3, item 3.3. And we were targeting ourselves to have 20 members by the end of the term. Now, within the last week or so, before coming here and over the last 2 days, we now have 21 member countries. So when we go back, we'll follow up. So we met our target. We wanted 20. We now have 21. So I'll talk about this later when we welcome the new members, and we will then work with the other 3 member-elect to finish the documentation. So by the end of the year, I think we should have 21 member countries. Finance, Chili will give you a financial statement later. Just very quickly, the background to this is that for the past 10 years, we have money sitting in the American Physical Therapy Association. They have kept some seeding money for us, but we were unable to transfer the money because we didn't have a bank account. And within 1 month, 2 months after Chili took over, he set up an account in Lloyd's Bank and even a PayPal account. So now we can do business, financial transactions. Problem is we have no money. He will give you the statement. But from now onwards, we hope we'll get some inflow, cash inflow. We'll talk to you about that with Chili's financial statement. The fourth one here, social media and homepage. We've been very active on that front, mainly from the efforts of Marianne from Kuwait and Laura from Costa Rica. The 2 of them have been relentless in trying to reach out to social media. Regarding the homepage, I think most of you may be aware, we now have a new homepage, and we'll give you that QR code later if you want to try. And that was set up by Chili and myself before we came here. So now we are using that as a base for all our information, including our constitution, our rules, our announcements, our minutes, and so on. So the homepage is where you want to keep that in your favorites folder somewhere, because you have to keep coming back to that. We'll use that for all the official documentation as well as the recording of our history and activities. Next one here, projects and events. For the homepage, I want to thank the Hong Kong Physical Therapy Association. When WCPT rebranded, we were kicked out of the WCP server. So Hong Kong stepped up and gave us a temporary server so that we could continue to have a presence on the internet. But then within the last 1 year, I think, we moved that again temporarily to my university server. And now finally we have a more or less permanent server in that URL that you see there. I'll give you the QR code later. Do we have the postcards? Abe, do you have the postcards? Okay, do we have it at exhibition booth? Did you all give out everything already, the postcard? All of it? Okay, I'll, huh?
You still have some more with you, right?
No, I gave everything to you.
Okay, yeah. Big money to distribute.
Give everything out? Okay. Never mind. Then I'll send you guys through the email or WhatsApp after the meeting anyway. The new homepage is there. Projects. Membership, I mentioned earlier on, we've reached 21, slightly more than what we were hoping for. The summit was held last year in September in Indonesia. Some of you were actually there. Some of you there in person, some of you were there online. It was a hybrid summit hosted by the Indonesian Physio Association. I think it was a good start because it at least gave us a launching point to continue to conduct congresses. We are hoping annually, And where it coincides with WP congresses, we'll have it in the same country. So the next one, 2025, will be in Tokyo. We'll have a ISEAP Congress there as well. And then the one after that, 2027, it's being decided now, but it will be either USA, Mexico, or Costa Rica. All three are our member countries, so we will work with them to have another conference. And then in between, we'll have a mini conference hosted by any one of the 21 member countries that we have. So one of them was supposed to be Cambodia. He's supposed to be here. So we're thinking of going to do something in Cambodia next year. The year after, Japan. The year after that, still thinking about it. And then the final end of the fourth year will be Costa Rica, Mexico, or USA. So we'll have conferences. It will be hybrid so that we can get as many participants from member countries as well. Similar to what we did in Indonesia. Then, general meeting and elections. This is what we're going to do today. Every 4 years we will have that. And you've got the ballot sheets out. I'll ask you to fill that in later. And finally, 5.4, we will talk about this again at the end under any other business. We're looking at the journal. The ISEAP as an international society would preferably have an international publication that documents all our white paper, not just research, but all the history, the minutes, and so on. So all that should be in official journal. We tried to launch this last year. We had problems getting volunteers to be editors and section editors. I'll show you the proposal later at the end of this, and hopefully some of you will volunteer yourself, and then we'll try and get it started. Now the backup plan is to approach the American Physical Therapy Association, because the EPA section of American PT Association has just launched their own EPA journal. So if we can't get ours off the ground within the next 4 years, I will approach them and see whether they will be happy to be the official journal of ISEAPT on our behalf. Preferably we do it ourselves, but I will talk to them. Anyway, David's here to help us negotiate with them as well. So that's something that we hope the next committee will be able to continue, and then hopefully we'll progress year by year, and hopefully we'll be okay. So that's the President's report. Now, I know that I have to take a vote whether you accept or you reject the report. So can I have somebody to raise the motion to vote on this? Anybody's fine? I'll drop you down. Anybody in the room? Okay, so David and somebody to second it. Okay, Taiwan, Shifan. And okay, so now can you just put up your hands? I'll do a head count. Motion to accept this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 10. So that motion's passed. The next one, the Treasurer's report. Chibi, you want to take this? Where was it? Here you go.
Right, so I'll make it quick. So when I took over, obviously we didn't have any finances, but very quickly we established the bank accounts, and then we got the fundings from that was reserved to us from APTA, which is quite nice. So we started off with a balance of £1,788 because it's held in the UK bank account, so unfortunately I have to go with sterling pounds. And then the focus of the expenditure over the last 4 years was based on targeted activities, mainly about marketing, but also promoting the activities of the of the subgroup itself. So, and over the past 4 years, we spent roughly about £561, And so we're currently left with £1,227. So that's the current state of affairs regards to the financial accounts. We are hoping at some point, which I think we'll raise later on, about the setting up a corporate membership, but also getting some nominal membership fees from our member countries as well in order to be able to shore up our finances to further the work for the next 4 years. Just wondering, anybody has any questions regards to the financial statement? I know it's really boring, but unfortunately really important.
We started with $5,000 for 9. Now we have about $2,000. What's that in pounds?
Usually, I mean, the conversion rate has changed, so if you multiply by 1.4, whatever, it's 1.4, yeah.
About 2,000?
More than that.
More than that?
Yeah, but 2,000, slightly above $2,000 US.
So we really haven't been spending any money at all. Most of the money, past communities have used it for events like this to pay for rental of the venue. Only recently, WCPT has given the venue to us free of charge. But I know that in 2011 and 2015 they had to pay for it. In 2019 it's free, and today it's free. Then the rest of the money you see that we were using it to set up social media homepage and so on. So, but we're still about $2,000 so we've really gone through more than half of what APT has given us, and we're really grateful for that, because without that we couldn't do anything at all. But everything that this one is there's a mic that's free. But everything that that's the one. Yeah. So as I said, we're really grateful for APTA for giving us the money to do that. But going forward, we need to raise money by ourselves, and we'll show you the proposition for membership fees later on. Now, I don't want you to get concerned about that, because the membership fees is not what that's not our primary source of income. We will not charge you if you cannot pay, or if you ask for a waiver, we will definitely give you a waiver. So that's not the problem. We are trying to make money from corporate membership.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is build positive collaborations and partnerships with our industry partners. That's one way to put it. Yeah, so if there is no objection, so I hand it over to Cheng for voting of the financial.
Thank you. So now this will be easier. You all have that form with you now. So just write your name and country on that form, and then at the end of the session, I'll just take this back from you. Just vote yes or no to support each of those items. 3.1, 3.2. Is that okay? So 3.1 has already been, there's 14. Can you anyway put your vote for 3.1 anyway? Instead of putting up your hand, just record on there. And then 3.2. Then we can go on to 3.3. We have 30 minutes left, so I'm gonna zoom through some of this quite quickly. 3.3 is membership. And at our general meeting, we have to confirm the membership. In fact, we send this to WP 1 month before the meeting. And yesterday, at the WP general meeting, we were reconfirmed as a subgroup because we met the threshold of 10 member countries. So you can see from here, Argentina, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Korea. We established contact with Korea, so they should be, going forward, they should be less of a problem. Lithuania is here, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, UK, United States, Indonesia, Japan, Kuwait, Spain, Costa Rica, and Israel. Now, there are 2 member-elects, and I want to welcome them here. The member-elect going forward, Guatemala and Brazil will, if you vote support here, they will be full members from going forward from today onwards. Mexico has also been a member-elect, but they have not finished their documentation, so they would have to be followed up after the Congress. And then earlier on I said two more, Palestine and Portugal. Guatemala's here? Sorry, thank you. Okay, and so Palestine and Portugal will go and follow up after the Congress. So Guatemala, welcome. And Brazil, are you here? Welcome. So we'll get your contact again later for WhatsApp, but we've now grown to 21 members. Now, one member dropped out very soon after the meeting in Geneva. Norway resigned, you can see from here. So again, at this meeting, we will confirm the minutes that Norway has officially resigned. And then the paperwork here for, I think that's, sorry, my eyesight is bad. Is that Brazil or Guatemala? Guatemala, thank you. That's from Guatemala, so the paperwork's done. Thank you very much. And Brazil, this one has also been submitted to WP. So Brazil from today onwards is a full member. We'll include two of them in all our correspondence and meetings in future. And sorry. So that's membership 3.3. 3.3 is termination. 3.3 to accept Guatemala. 3.3 appendix 4.4 is Brazil. And then Mexico is pending. You can leave that blank for the time being. So can you just indicate your vote to support or not support those things? Is that okay? Good. I'll collect this from you at the end of this. So let's push on. The next one here is the Constitution. And this is a bit of a problem. Our old Constitution was based on the template given to us by WCPT. But because WCPT rebranded and came up with their own new constitution, they asked all the subgroups to also update our own constitution according to the template that they have. Now, we took the template and we went back and forth with them. For example, there are certain things in there that we didn't like, so we went to them and we negotiated some of those. Now, you can see this is we are no longer called Constitution, this is now called rules. WP has a constitution, all subgroups have rules. And you can see the red little thing there, what you see, the red are the modifications to the template that we did. So in the first line, you can see ISEAP. Physical therapy now becomes physiotherapy. And therefore, officially we have to change our logo, some of our documents and all that, to have the new abbreviations ISEAP going forward. You can see the first page there, essentially it's just changing our name to ISEAP. The aims and purpose have also been changed. This is the template given to us by WP. Basically, we're just following the template to advance and promote EPA. The functions are given there. Again, they were taken wholesale from the template. 5, membership. Again, taken wholesale from the template. Retirement. Refusal by executive committee. Again, this is something that they put in there. I didn't change any of that. The rights of member organizations. Again, direct from the template. Duties of member organizations, same thing. Membership subscriptions, we'll talk to you about this again. Apparently they want the subscription to be paid on 1st January every year. Again, don't worry, if you apply for a waiver, thank you. If you apply for a waiver, we will, at the board level, we can waive your fees. But of course, if you're happy to pay, we are also, we would definitely not say no. We welcome your payment. So for those countries that can afford to pay, I would encourage you to tell them, please pay up. They'll give us a bit of budget to work on things. And then membership of the executive committee. This one here, we had a bit of what you call a fight going on. Most even WP, but most subgroups are able to serve up to 3 terms, 4-year term. We decided that our original constitution limits to 8 years. We decided to keep that. And the reason why we decided to keep that is because we want to encourage renewal of leadership. We want young ones to come in and take over. We don't want anybody to sit there for 12 years and do nothing at all. So we think that the 8-year term limit is fair. So we kept that. They weren't happy with that, but they accepted that we were quite I was quite adamant on this. So I said no, we'll keep it at 8 years. So the present committee, some of us are only in a 4-year term, so we can go on to another 4 years. But every 4 years, we have to step down, and a new one will come in. We've talked about this at the board level. We're trying to have an A group, B group of leadership so that you can, sort of leapfrog there, so there's continuity. But again, don't worry, because even if you're not the official member, for example, you can still contribute. None of us are dead yet, we're still around. We still are, you can contact us by email, WhatsApp, and so on. So if you need anything, you just contact us, we'll just give you whatever that we were doing, and then you can just pick up from there. So honestly, it didn't really matter. The term limit was just more for a formality, but I'm very sure that any one of us, whether we're in office or out of office, will continue to contribute to the society. So that's not to me, it wasn't a big issue. So just keep that in mind. And then, this is new. Elections have all been changed. So they want a returning officer, and they volunteered WP. Going forward, WP staff will be here doing the presiding officer and the returning officer. So it will not be ISEAP member. I think they wanted to keep it, I'm not sure, but the business meeting should be non-biased. I don't know how, I'm not sure whether they're biased, but anyway, they wanted a third party that wasn't involved to preside over the committee and make sure that the governance is carried out properly. And I think that's important because, to be honest with you, the governance for the last 8 years or 10 years hasn't been perfect. I understand that we are all volunteers, and I understand that sometimes it's difficult. So we're not putting blame on anybody, but just to understand that sometimes we have to make sure that we do our best, especially in the governance section, because we are, after all, an international society, and we should conduct ourselves as such. Now, the rest of it, I'll let you go through that. So you can see from there, very little changes made to the template. And following this, we require a letter from WP to say that they support our constitution. And this was given to us on 14th of April 2023, that they support our changes. So in other words, the voting here is just a formality, but we need 75% of you to vote yes, so that we can adopt the new committee, the constitution, the rules, sorry. Now, if I don't get 75%, then we have to hold an EGM, extraordinary general meeting, after this. I hope I don't have to, but anyway, take out your pen and vote on this. So 3.4, amendment of ISAPT Constitution to ISAPT rules. Appendix 5.1, which is the template, Appendix 5.2, which is the WCPT letter of support that you see here. Okay, let's go on now to member subscription 3.5. Chiwi?
Thanks. So this is the proposed membership fees. It's on a sliding scale. So you can see at the top table, basically the membership categories is based on the number of people within your special interest groups within your own countries. However, if your country does not have a special interest group related to EPA, then we'll count your country membership. As Cheng has said, it's only, this is one of our, this is not our main source of income. If your country has some issues or difficulties, challenges in paying up the membership fees, we're quite happy to negotiate something, so don't worry about it. It's just so that we got something established in the rules. So, and also we've divided up based on the World Bank membership, because that's following what the World Physio does as well. So there's a sliding scale of the payments as well. And also we also have some other membership categories. So we've got associate, assistant, student, and special members. These are really for individuals whose countries they belong to don't really have a particular, who are not part of either World Physiotherapy or even a but so it's just something to accept them so that we actually allow people, but this is in a minority. We got slightly less than 10 people under those categories. Or the most important one that we're establishing is the corporate member, which is to collaborate with our business partners, our industry partners. So currently we have set it at
sorry. This one here. Oh, sorry, this one here. I've been.
Anyways, it's set current. I mean, the previous were currently set at £800, but we have got another sliding scale where we got tiers of membership. So there is £800 is the top tier, which is a premium tier. We got the standard one, which is about 400, and there's a 200 as well. Each one of these tiers for our industry partners will have slightly different benefits, which will include, for example, having their logos put on our website, as well as discounts for sponsorship deals and so on and so forth. So, so they can then choose the most appropriate package for them and what suits their own branding. So that will be our main source of income. So we're hoping to get most of our income through that. I'll hand it back to Cheng now.
Okay. So that's the last one that you have to 3.5. You have to vote on that, and then the secretary will pick this up from you, and they'll do the tally, and then they'll give me the results. But we'll continue with the meeting, and we'll announce the results once it's done, once it is been counted. These are the motions for this general meeting. I'll give you a few minutes to do your voting. Then we'll come back to the agenda again. And when you finish, put up your hand so that we can go and pick it up from you. While they're doing that, the next item, we have about 20 minutes left, or 15 minutes left actually. The next item is on the agenda is elections. So I want to refer you to this form that you have now. Anybody needs an extra form? Okay, except for Guatemala and Brazil, you can't vote yet. But the rest of you, the 14 of you here, 6 of you by proxy, and 8 of you in person, please fill in this form and hand it to the secretary again, and he'll do the tally. For president, there are 2 candidates, Archeng Goh from Singapore and Sarah Bezin from UK, choose one. For vice president, Mikhail Garbizon from Israel and Sarah Bezin from UK, choose one. For secretary and treasurer, there's only one nomination, so there's no need to vote for that. the two of them, Yuichi Abe, Secretary, and Tan Chi-Wee from UK, elected unopposed. For board members, we have one additional. I think all of you have number 14 right at the bottom. This came last minute. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 candidates. From the 8, choose 5. Of course, you can choose your own member country. There's nothing wrong with that. And then choose 4 from other countries. So Claudio Akiyama from Argentina, Alexander Wu from Hong Kong, Christian Angel Villa from Argentina, Laura Canto from Costa Rica, David Levine from USA, Samuel Fernandez from Spain, Jane Dixon from UK, and Muhammad Irfan from Indonesia. Is number 14. I hope you all have that number 14 on your form. Now, our rules allow you to nominate anybody else that you want in the room if you want to. If you do, then put up your hand, and except for the president and vice president, you don't need a seconder. Anybody has extra nominations you want to bring up? If not, then you have that 15 people to vote. And when you finish again, give this to the secretary and they'll do the tally. And then I'll announce that at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much. So we'll go on to the next item on the agenda, which is, oh, where's my, this is interesting. Those are the things. You have it over there. And number 15 is, as I said, board member, Muhammad Irfan from Indonesia. He was nominated by our Vice President, Ali Imran from Indonesia. So we'll update that when I put in the minutes and send it to you. Now, under any other business 5.1, we're talking about our homepage. This postcard, did all of you have a copy of this? If not, I think we ran out, but if not, we printed I think 500 copies and we gave them out all this morning. But if not, you can come up here and do the QR code if you want to. If not, you wait until you get back to your country, I'll send it to you anyway. That's the homepage, have a look at it. I think Chiwi did a great job setting this up. At the moment, it's free. There's no, they don't charge us for setting this up, but for additional functions, we have to pay. So when we are a little bit more healthy in our bank account, we might pay for the services. We might, but we'll discuss this at the board meeting. Okay, so that's 5.1. 5.2, the International Journal. This is the journal. The working group was chaired by our secretary, Furukawa, from Japan, and the members, you can see from there. Most of them were from my university, but we wanted to set up, well, at least try to set up. So the ISBN application has been done. It's not completed, but it's been done. The submissions template, they're working on it now. Nominations for editorial board members, that's where we were stuck at. We needed an editor-in-chief. We needed deputies editor for submission and review, for publication and for social media. And then we needed section editors for the diagnostic component of EPA, for electroneurophysiological testing, ultrasound imaging, and then for the treatment component, which is thermotherapy, cryo, electro, photo, mechano, and novel technologies. We had a few volunteers for this section editors, but we have no volunteers for deputy editor and editor-in-chief. We went 4 rounds of nominations. We opened it up, I think, how many rounds I thought it was? It says here 3 rounds. I thought I had 4 rounds, but it says 3 rounds here. Thank you. And then, unfortunately, even that didn't get the required nominations. So we'll keep pushing on this. And then we'll maybe work with the American PT Association and see whether they can help us as well. But anyway, we are trying to come up with an international board of editors and maybe an international advisory board as well. Now this will be separate and independent from the ISEAP board. We will finance the journal, but the editorial board has complete independence and autonomy. We estimate that one issue will take about $8,000 to publish online. So we were budgeting 20,000 before we can start. So if we have $20,000, we can at least go for 2 issues minimum. We are hoping to produce 2 issues per year. Now the cost will get cheaper as we go along, and hopefully anyway, we hope once this is set up and running properly and we have enough money, that we will then hand over this to the publishers to take over. The publishers will then do everything for us. All we have to do is to do the editorial and the review component of this, but they will take care of all the correspondence and the running and and all the PDF and stuff like that, uploading to the homepage and so on. And the issues will all be in online. It's an online journal, so the issues will be PDF format, and they will be available from our homepage. And of course, it's free to all members. We're not sure whether we'll charge non-members, but maybe not. Knowledge should be free anyway. So, and this is not our source of income anyway. So we had a big discussion about this, and the thing here is, we were saying that when we start collecting money, what do you do with the money? So we're not going to spend the money on, travel and hotels and all that. We're not going to do that. We rather spend that money by trying to build up the academic side of our specialty, to try and provide a journal where we can centralize all the research, but not just that, to be able to control the standards. So our reviewers will have a common standard that we can then say that when you publish a paper in our journal, this is accepted by the International Review and Editorial Board, and therefore that meets the international standards, so to speak. Thank you. So that's something that we need to think about. That's the last thing actually. Just by show of hands, you don't have to vote on this. We'll bring this up again at the board meeting, but just show of hands, how many of you think that this is something that we should continue to pursue? Just by show of hands. And how many of you think that this is something that's beyond what we should be doing? Just put up your hand. And most of you are sitting on the fence. Okay, never mind, we'll come back to this. The board will continue with this. So I'm going to give you the results. For the President's Report, unanimous. Treasurer's Report, unanimous. Termination, for all that's unanimous. So for item 3.1, 3.5, we have 12 votes out of 12. So that's fine. 2 of them did not vote. Wait a minute, we have 14, why you have 12? 12 that voted, right? Sorry. That's strange. But still, it's beyond 50%, so that's fine. And we have more than 75% for the Constitution. I needed 10 for so I have 12. So that's fine. Now, can we have the results for the elections? And then we'll close the meeting, and the new committee can probably take a photo outside. And then I'll announce the next meeting will be online. The next meeting will be in June. So very soon after you go back, hold on. June is not possible, this is June, right? Next meeting will be in September, 3 months from now. So you will probably be getting the email from us. If you don't hear about it, contact us, but we will give you the Zoom ID and password, and then you are free to drop in as observers. If it's your first time, I think you'll find that usually it takes 1 hour. And we try as much to make sure that everybody can attend. So unfortunately, some of you will be very early in the morning and some of you will be very late at night. But the UK zone will be fine. They are right in the middle. The Asia side will be in the night and the South America side will be very early in the morning. We can't, unfortunately, international time zones are like this, but it is recorded, it is minuted, and you will be sent the recordings and the minutes immediately after the meeting. So if you can't attend in person, you can certainly still watch the video or read the minutes. They're still trying to tally the vote. Any questions? We're almost ready. We have 5 minutes. Any questions? This is a business meeting, so I understand that this is boring stuff, but this is something that we need to record and minute. But after this, at 2:20 in Abu Dhabi B, second floor, right at the other corner, we will have our network meeting, and that's where we can then do a two-way discussion. And I welcome all of you to attend that so that we can have discussion on what we talk about here, or anything else that you may have on your mind, or any suggestions that you may have that the next committee can work on. Is that okay? I can't see all of you because this light is really blinding me. It's like a rock star up here, but I can see shadows or not. Sorry? No, I'm not shy, I'm just sweating. So it looks like I shine, but I'm sweating. So, but that's me, and I sweat everywhere I go, so. And I haven't really been well for the last few days, so I'm just taking my precautions. Don't come too close to me. It's not that I'm friendly, just I'm trying to protect you. Any problems with the telly? They seem to have. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Now, as I said, network meeting, are we okay? You're getting there? No? Soon? No? Okay.
Give us some time.
Okay, you have 3 minutes. Yeah, it has to be in the business meeting because Costa Rica is Marianne, the proxy for Costa Rica. Okay, so I think, I'm not sure, I don't think they'll kick us out, exactly at 2. So maybe we can buy a bit of time. If we don't go anywhere, I think they can't kick us out. So stay put, don't leave the room. And we'll see, when they finish, we'll announce. You finished? Oh, excellent. Juyong, 14, so that's correct. We have 14. Okay, for president, Archeng Go from Singapore, 13 votes, Sarah Bazin 1. So the president would be Archeng Go, whoever he is. I wish him luck. Vice president, Sarah Bazin 8 and Mikhail Gabizon from Israel 6. So the vice president is Sarah Bazin from UK. Congratulations. Secretary, no change, Yuji Abe. Treasurer, Tan Chiwi. Board member, the top 5 that we have here. Top 5, the top, Samuel Fernandez from Spain, 13 votes. David Lavine from USA, 12 votes. Claudio Akiyama from Argentina, Alex Wu from Hong Kong, 11 votes. Claudio Akiyama from Argentina, 10 votes. And Laura Canto from Costa Rica, 8 votes. So those are the 5 board members. But the remaining 1, 2, 3, you are on standby, because if anybody resigns, you're next. And don't forget, last year we had 2 people that resigned immediately after the AGM, so it's highly probable. Or some of us might not be able to get on our flight and get home, so you're all on standby. So Board member from Indonesia, 7 votes. Board member from UK, Jane Dixon, 6 votes. And the last one, Argentina, Christian Angel with 3 votes. So by that order, Indonesia, UK, and Argentina. Those 3 are our alternates. Is that okay with all of you? And this information will be given to the next board so that they have this list and they will be calling their board meeting in September. And before that, you will get the minutes of the AGM here, and we will then confirm that at the September board meeting, and they will announce to you what would be their task and action plan for the next 4 years. Thank you. This is great. Thank you very much. So, it's exactly 2 p.m. So we achieved that. Thank you for your cooperation, and see you at the network meeting in 20 minutes time. Thank you very much. And congratulations to those that were elected.
And those who are on the next board, can you kindly stay behind just outside so we can take a photo together?
사무소 마스터 이 포스터 야, 되게 좀見ましたなんか